Hi, my name is Nick Walton and I run courses at the Shakespeare Birthplace Trust in Stratford-upon-Avon for school and university students, foreign language learners and teachers. Something I treasure about my job is that I get to work with Shakespeare's plays with students throughout the UK and from across the world. In recent times, I've listened to student groups from Hawaii, Hong Kong, Italy and Cyprus talk about Shakespeare as a dramatist who speaks to them today. Sometimes they can't believe these plays were written over 400 years ago. Each student brings to Shakespeare's words their own personality, experience, and a freshness of expression to words that have been spoken by generations of students before them. Why am I telling you all of this? Well, I guess it's because my first tip for you as drama trainee teachers and NQTs is don't be nervous of doing Shakespeare with your students. Your students are likely to surprise you in all sorts of ways. For many students, there can be a real sense of accomplishment in speaking some Shakespeare, as well as the possibility of discovering a new voice of their own. Drama is conversation, and some of the most interesting conversations I have had have been in classrooms and workshops with students as they put themselves into the shoes of a Shakespearean character and begin to discover and explain why they think a character might feel, act and express in a certain way. Drama students are curious. They want to engage with a story and an audience. I find that students begin to get to grips with a speech or scene once they realise that Shakespeare is trying to be their guide. Shakespeare worked with actors. He was an actor himself, and his speeches are filled with clues and hints for performance. If you can help students recognise that Shakespeare is trying to be more help than hindrance to actors, then hopefully they will embrace not only the collaborative nature of drama itself, but most importantly, they will see themselves as collaborating with Shakespeare. My second tip is take a deep dive into Shakespeare yourself. It goes without saying that students will feed off your own enthusiasm for a subject, so do everything you can to excite your interests. Think about what you value in Shakespeare's works. What have been your best experiences of seeing or working with Shakespeare? If you find yourself struggling with this question, go out and find your Shakespeare. At the heart of Shakespeare is the human experience of love, loss, ambition, revenge, betrayal, reunion, family and community, and his works withstand being recreated, reimagined and reinterpreted. So if you don't think of Shakespeare as being your thing, then look again. See as much Shakespearean performance as you possibly can for yourself. Watch it online, on TV, go to the theatre, search out Shakespeare performances in parks, on beaches, in school halls, wherever you can find it. Look for full cast productions, as well as shows with just 2 or 3 players. Watch Shakespeare's longest plays shrunk into 20-minute performances. Find examples of Shakespeare's plays being adapted into animations, raps, dance, and seek out scenes performed in a language other than your own. Get inspired by Shakespeare yourself so that you can quickly find the key that could help unlock Shakespeare for your class, because you need to be their best resource. Your stories of seeing Shakespeare's Hamlet performed in a ruined castle or seeing the witches in Macbeth being presented by puppeteers will ignite your students' imaginations, pique their curiosity and spark conversations. Get to know more of Shakespeare's works for yourself. It can be a really helpful way to have a feel for Shakespeare's technique and craftsmanship beyond the single play you're working on. See if you can use speeches from other plays as a springboard to give students a sense of how Shakespeare often recycled tried and tested techniques to achieve particular effects. So, a couple of suggestions to round things off. If you want to get some speedy familiarity with the plots and characters from Shakespeare's plays, then take a look at the synopses and 3-minute videos on the Shakespeare Birthplace Trust website. You can also have a look at the Shakespeare War Book, which I co-authored, in which I essentially used the drama technique of creating a number of tableaux to tell a tale, unfolding the plots of all Shakespeare's plays through just 3 quotes and 3 illustrated moments. Challenge your students to tell the tale of your Shakespeare play using these 3 moments pictured in the book, or 3 different moments as a way of diving into the whole play. The power of Shakespeare's works, in part, is their adaptability. And ultimately, as storytellers, theatre makers and interpreters of Shakespeare's works, your students have the power to tell Shakespeare's tales anew. Collaborating with Shakespeare can be great fun and very rewarding. The readiness is all.